G'day, today we're having a look at the new game Nonorelia. The developers of this one were kind enough to send me a key. I haven't read too much about it, but they said if you like mini motorways, we think you might like this. So I don't know what that means, but I guess let's find out. Okay, an ordinary day at the settlement on Nonorel 5. Until it's not. How's today going? Oh, it's perfect. Until it wasn't. Alright, story mode, smaller puzzles to get to the next quickly, normal, the way the game was meant to be played. Let's play it the way it was meant. Planet Nonorel. Say Nonorel or Nonorel? Nonorel. Nonorel colony base. Maybe really went all out on the statues.
Attention, my beloved sisters. Shipment 105907 is incoming via shortwave teleporter. All hands, please prepare at station.
Make sure the portal is running at 100% capacity. We don't want to end up like Leans.
Please, one of you say the word.
Got it, Father.
Nonorel.
Did you get those sheets of titanium?
Sent over for the weekly quality inspection? Yes, Father, and I also took the liberty of already picking out and preparing the samples from next week's shipment for inspection too.
Oh. Well, good. Just make sure that the samples are...
From the same batch as the corresponding full shipment? Of course, Father.
Right. Glad to see that you're...
On top of things? Absolutely, Father. Everything is running smoothly and under control.
She's not slightly unsettling.
Right then.
Love. 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 Love.
What are you guys doing?
Oh, we are sharing our love with each other.
And you're doing that by...
Making proclamations. We love one another, so we are loving one another by sharing our love with one another.
Right. So first off, that's not how love works. And secondly, what's got you doing all this talking about love?
Oh, really, Father? How does love work?
Answer the second question first.
We both brought Mother some tools she needed while she was working in the control room, and she said thank you and that she loved us. And we've truly never felt better, so we are recreating that feeling of joy by loving each other. It is wonderful!
You don't love someone by shouting at them.
No, it's really over this whole situation.
Wrong? How do you love someone then, Father?
You show them, or it's something that you feel, or if you love an object, then it makes you happy. It's complicated. It's not anything so binary.
I can read binary. So what do you love, Father?
Let's go fatherhood. They love being loved, so let's be nice to them.
Don't you love Mother?
Well, I don't know what our situation is.
Of course I love her. There's no one out there quite like
Why would you say anything else to the
I
Angeline,
think I get it now.
Angelons?
Is there anything that you two were supposed to be doing besides standing back here screaming the word love at one another?
Oh, don't worry, Father. We finished all our duties actually quickly so that we could come back here and love.
Okay then. Well, just try not to love too close to the welding torches.
So we can continue loving back here for a while longer, Father?
I mean, I guess.
Yay!
And then he just ceased to exist.
Love! 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 Love is hard work.
Transport commencing.
Alright, let's get to the puzzle. Or did they do all the work?
Transport complete. Great work, everyone.
working on?
Oh, you know, world domination.
Well, we are technically already dominating this world, honey.
Oh, I should really be thinking bigger then, huh?
Anything I can help with?
Yeah, there's an Angelon stock mid-production because of a flag in the generator room. Could you check that out?
I'll handle it as soon as we're done talking.
Perfect. So, walk with me to the control room?
I'd be honored.
Could we just go fix the puzzle problem?
Attention, sisters.
Good morning, Father.
Angelon 492 has been
Hi
saying
there.
that if we switch to an ionized power source for the teleporter's main generator, that it would be more reliable in a
Father.
case of catastrophic failure.
morning.
However, I've looked at the statistics, and the odds of that happening weighed against the drop in per-minute productivity are just not conducive to optimal workflow. Also, her hair
Hello
looks
there,
dumb.
Father.
Please
Good
weigh in on
morning.
which side of this argument that you fall on. I
What's
have
that
placed
dirt
a
doing in
suggestion
there?
box next to the
Not
shipping
much of anything,
manifest.
from the looks of it.
Huh.
Do you think Father's in a bad mood? No, Mom just says he's a little cranky because he worries about everything. What kind of things does he worry about? I don't know. Disease? Natural disasters? The inevitability of death? Oh. Or maybe shipments being late. Spooky. Good morning, Father.
Alright, yes, good morning.
Let's do it. Let's get some puzzles going.
Is the shipment to Chandler ready for pickup?
Yes, dear. Just like it is every single other week that you've asked me since the dawn of time.
Can never be too careful.
If you can, you'll be the first person to find out.
You're absolutely right. And as soon as trading stops being our sole source of income out here, is the day I'll worry a little less. Thank you, by the way.
You're very welcome, love.
Ah,
Hey! Stop social calling Chandler! So sorry about that, Chandler. Shipment will be ready in 2 days, on schedule.
say it.
Nonorelia
Say it.
out.
Nonorelia. Nonorelia. Okay. Are you the stuck one?
Hi there, Father. It seems like we're getting an error transferring power to the birthing chamber.
Alright, move aside. Let me take a look. Looks like there was an accidental surge and it tripped one of the breakers. Nothing serious, we'll just need to reset it.
Oh, Father, the breathtaking cleverness of you.
Right. 1, you don't breathe. 2, that was not grammatically correct. And I didn't know that was even possible in your programming.
Well, I like to think I'm full of surprises.
Let's just get this breaker fixed.
Absolutely.
Some of the tech they're working with, it just seems very frilly that could be dangerous.
I love noise.
That is apparent.
Puzzle? Yeah, okay. Explanation? Was it a tutorial I missed on the front page? 3 clues left. Is this like 5, 2, 3, 1? Okay, so is this like Minesweeper? Am I?
Oh, these two. I remember the days when news was actually objective.
So
What days were those? Monday through Wednesday. I
so
thought
is
those were
this sort
pretty
of
good.
saying that?
That's not... Right? Monday. It was Monday, that's right.
I knew it.
We used to live across from the
There's
studio
two.
that
There's
makes
one
this
there.
show.
So
When Hannah and I were young.
am I saying
The
that
main thing I
there's
remember was that everyone,
black
their faces were more
is
relaxed
the
than
thing that I want?
Why was that, Father?
So like I'm saying there's nothing
Those
there,
wanted to look
nothing there,
younger,
nothing
keep
there.
Their features sharp.
I like looking young. Do you think I'll need to do that too?
So there's one in that row, so then I'm saying there's nothing there, nothing there.
Machines, I don't think the plastic would help much. Also, I don't foresee it being a problem.
I don't understand how that one's a 1-5 because there's only... Oh, is that 5 across those? So saying there's nothing there? No, that one green because it's saying 2, so I'm doing this reverse? Hang on. So 2. So it's in a row. So say for example that's 4 in a row, then there's one separate to anything else, which would be that. That's that one there, which means that would be 1 because that has to be 2. This is 1 and then 5. So it has to be at least 1 and then a... It doesn't have to be a 1 and then a gap. It could be a gap and then a 1 because the 5 could be that way. So let's just clear all of that. This has to be a 2 though, so we know 1's there, which means this 5 has to either be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or from there and back. So this guy's 3 and then 5, so we know that would be the 5, that would be the 3. This guy is 1 and then 3, so that would be the 3, and at least a gap. This guy's saying 0, so we're saying there's nothing in that row. 6, so if we're saying 3, gap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so that has to be that to complete that row. This guy's saying 2, so that would be his. That guy's saying 1, 1, 1. This guy's saying that there's at least 1 in that. He's saying 5. We can see a clear set of 5 there. That's that guy's 1. This guy's saying he's 1, so there's 1 above that. That guy's 3, so that's definitely going to be that. Then there's got to be a 2 in here. We've got 1 down here, so it's definitely not that. Definitely not that. Definitely not that. This guy has 2. So he's a 5 and then he's a 2, which would be that one. Then he's a 3. So that one's definitely 1, which means that's not 1, which means that is 1. This guy's a 2, so that has to be 1, which means that guy's complete. So that's not 1. That's his 1, which means that's not 1. And then that's his 5. So we've got those. Then we have... Okay, a set of 7 across the top here. So this bottom lot here is 3, so that's clear. This bottom lot is 6, so that's that. Then a gap. Then we have 5, and there's only enough space for this to be like clear like that. This first square here is part of this 7, which means that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those two aren't anything. This one has a set of 10 in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So all of those lit up. This first lot's 9, so 3, 6, 9, then a gap, and then what's that saying? 5, so one of the two of those. This guy's saying that he's a 2. Well, I mean, we know that that's 5 there, so that has to be the gap. No, that's saying 6. 6. Sorry, it's so small, I thought that was a 5. This guy's got 4, so he would be 5. Gap there. This is a 7, so 4, 5, 6, 7, space, 1. This is a 4, gap, 2, that's a 7, gap, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, gap, 1, gap, 3 is definitely there, so then that has to be 3, gap. This goes 3, so that starts that one, and then that's a gap. He's a 0, so that's correct. This guy and that guy are both completely 3s. So those two are gaps, that's a space, that's taken, those are the 2 he has. What are we up to? So this is a 6, so that runs all the way to the bottom. This guy's a 2, so then he's empty all the way to the bottom. There's nothing there, there's 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. Whew. Alright, now we're getting somewhere. That's some fine puzzling. There's another game that was like this. Hex Logic? Hex Logic? No. I think it was in a pack with Hex Logic.
Quality time with my father and a new sibling? I've never felt so lucky to be alive.
Well, the day is still young.
Don't worry so much, Father.
Alright, let's get to another one.
Unfortunately, someone around here has to.
What are you going to do now?
I have some work to get
If
done
any of these
before-
Angelons can pick
Once
up
it's over,
like
I'll be in the
sarcasm,
birthing chamber finishing the latest
that'd
Angelon.
be Noah would be
Oh,
cooked.
would you like me to come with you and help?
No, I'll take care of this myself. Thank you, though. Goodbye, 129.
Goodbye, Father.
I'm so sorry. It wasn't meant to be like this.
Mystery. Alrighty. Let's solve some puzzle. Okay, so we know that this one here is a 0, so we can knock out those. So I don't actually have to do the black. I could just do the blue if I wanted to, but I think this is just helping in terms of mapping out what we want. So we can see that there's a 3 there. Where else have we got something that's just a clear, sort of, there's no 4s across there. We've got a 2 here and then a 2. So assume that one of those is on that side. These have got 1s on the end, so we'll knock them out. It's just like a 2 across there somewhere. What else can we see? So these guys run all... No, they're separate. So these guys that are 2s, we can actually just assume run those 2 connections. These guys are running across 4, I guess. So there's no clear... Nothing to sort of glean from that. So we can take all of those ones. Now, someone like this guy, we can see he's a 5. Then he's a 4, and then he's a 2. So that 4 could be on either side of that. So we can't really do any more with him. What else we got on this side? So we've got 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, space, 2, space, 3. So he has to be like that because he doesn't have room for it to be laid out any other way. That has to be 1 because otherwise it doesn't fit. So this has to be the set of 6. We block on either end of that. And so he's 1 space 1 and then 3. I mean, some of these we could just sort of count out the amount of blocks required for what it wants to see that it could go. So, for example, this is 3 plus 1, so 4, 6, 8, 10, 14. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 plus 14 is 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, they're groups of 5. So I can just assume that whole thing is just like straight across. 2, gap, 2, gap, gap, 1, 2, 3. Where say the one below it isn't as clear. This 2, I mean, that doesn't give us anything knowing that it's either going to be 1 above or 1 below. This one, since it's a 3 first, it can't be there, so that has to be the 3. Then it's a 2, so since we can't have a 2 fit above a 2 there, we're going to assume that 2 is there, then it's going to be 1 black 1. 5, that's one we still don't really have an answer to. Okay, that's a 9. So 9, that's 11, 13, 16, 17, plus 1, 2, 3, 4. 17, well, it must be 16 because I've miscounted there. Yeah, that'd be 16. Okay, so that also has to go all the way across. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, rid of that one. 2, 2, 3, 1. Okay, so that answers the question for this guy, and that guy, and that one, and that one. We can see the 2 for this guy is already cleared up, so the 5 for here can only be as far as there, because either it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we can get rid of those ones as well. We know these 2 are both 3s, we know that's a 1, so we can assume the 5 is there, clear those ones out. We can also see this guy says he's a 2 only, so we can knock out all of those ones. This guy's a 4, so we can add all of those ones. This guy's a 4. This guy's a 2 plus gap. 1 plus gap. So then we've got, say, this guy who's only got a very little amount. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 3. So these are 18. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8 plus 3 is Um, 11 plus 1, 2, 3, 4 gaps is 15, so that doesn't really answer like where that belongs. This guy's 4, 1, so that's just going to be scattered down. Those two are 1s, so we can assume that that's right, actually, so we can then do that. So those last two appear somewhere down the bottom. This guy's a set of 8, so again, that's 20. So 8, 10, 16, 1, 2, 3. So there's 3 gaps, but we already know that that's at the end, so we have our final space. And we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So what else have we got? So this is a group of 2, so we know it's not going to be there. This guy is 2, 1, so we know they can't be there. It's going to have to be there. This is a group of 3, so we can knock that out. Assume that there's going to be the 1 there, so that's a 1, so we can knock that one out. This guy here, what are we? 7, 9, 11, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so we can assume that he's all set. 2, block 1, 2, block 4, block 3. What do we got? So that guy we know is a 3, that's nothing. That guy could be either way. Those are both correct. That has to be gone then. That has to be 3. That 3 goes up there. And this guy, these 2s could be scattered across. He's got his 4 done, so then we've got a 3 somewhere in there. This guy's 2 and 2, so we know that's not anything. No, that's a 2, so that'll be a 3. That's blocked, so then the 3 will appear somewhere across those 4. This 2 will have to be somewhere across there, so will that 2... These 2 1s... Alright, so this was 18. What do we got here? 4, 7, 10, 12. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 16. So no clear answer on where that guy's going to sit. But we've got that 1 there, so we know that's blank. 2 there because of this guy. That's that 2. And the last 2 are somewhere in this slot. We now know that's 3 there. Because of that, we know that those 2 have to be there. That guy can't be there. If we've got 1 here, we know that can't be 1 because he has to be one of those. I mean, these 2 exist there. So with both of these, we know that those are going to be the 3 at the bottom, so that's not anything. So we also then know that these both have to be 2s. They're not anything. That's not anything. No clear indication on whether those are the 2s or the 3s in this one. This guy's only got 1. This guy's got 2 1s separated. 2 1 2. So because both of these have 2s up here, it would be that one has to be like 1 2 and the other has to be 1 2. So, or they'll both be on the same side. Either way, we know that that's going to have to be like that. This guy doesn't have any sets of 3 left, so we know that's not going to be the case. Those 2 can't both be 1s because otherwise it would be a 2, so we know that's a 1. That would have to be this one here because it can't be a 2, which means they're not anything. These 2 guys both being 2s means that would have to be that. Since the next thing down is a 2, we know that's not going to be that. That's the first of the 1s on this guy. Okay, so then we've got a couple of guys left at the bottom here, so that could be a 1 on either side. This could be a 1. So this guy has to be a 3. So 3 of the 4 of these are going to be in here. Guy has to be a 2. So, I mean, I would wager that this 2 is the guy down the bottom here. Can't quite prove that in any capacity at this point. Alright, 1, 1. Let's think 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Well, I mean, I could guess, but what happens if I'm wrong? So if we say hypothetically when that's the 2, then there can't be 1 there. So let's say that's the 2. He's the 3. That's that 2. That's that one. I mean, we'll take it. That was just a raw guess at the end, but that's the way Noah's brain looks. Ah!
We are running out of time.
Damn! None of you are allowed to come into my quarters when the door is closed. How many times have I told all of
He
you?
was busy staring into the middle
Sorry,
distance.
Father, but we don't have much time left.
For what? What could be so important?
Well, there are only exactly 10 years before the Lyrans come to claim the rest of the planet, and we still need to fill out the proper paperwork.
There are still 10 years before they come.
Yeah, I don't want to say scrap you.
Angelon, I appreciate your care, but I don't think it's of the highest priority at this exact moment.
I understand, Father. My apologies. Hey, I'm in that picture.
In a way,
Well, here
Well,
comes some
Father, I will
exposition,
leave you to
maybe.
your work. Sorry for bothering you.
another day.
Come on, give me one more puzzle.
And I said, what do you mean I'm ugly? We have the same face.
Are the components assembled? Okay, let's do it. Begin production run. 1 unit, please. Hello.
There are so many Angelons already that just seem to be standing around. I can't see why we need more Angelons.
Ready.
Set 271.
271 HDX Gestalt Transfer Mode. Ready.
Download archive Angelon 001.
Download in progress.
This is a new life.
This whole thing isn't a game. You have to be careful.
Good job.
Eric, this
Don't
first
speak my sense. One wrong move.
Angela, you make this world a brighter place.
Now I have a responsibility as your father.
It's right.
These things are important to know.
You're a gift.
Calculus is used in almost everything we do.
This flower looks
I do these things because I
the opportunity to be kind.
If it's better, she's gonna love you.
Hello, Father. It is absolutely so amazing to see you.
Oh, hello, 947.
Wow, there are so many of me. That is me, right, Father?
Yes. These are your sisters and fellow Angelons.
How wonderful to have so many sisters.
Right. It's really something. Do we have to use an archive that's so old?
What's the matter? I think you can take the bullet on a little over-enthusiasm. You are her father.
This isn't one of our daughters, Hannah. Just remember that.
All right. If that's how you feel, tell her what she'll be doing.
947, you will be tasked with system diagnostics and repair.
Understood, Father.
Although, right now I could use your help reprogramming this welder for cutting titanium. We have some sheets needed for the next shipment, and I like to stay ahead of the curve.
I'll do whatever I can to help, Father.
Right, well, it shouldn't be too complicated, but I could use your help with the math needed.
I am just happy that I can be of use, Father.
Alright,
Careful.
we're gonna get a
For now,
puzzle.
we just want to program this. If you turn it on, it could melt even your fingers.
It's
Here we
that
go.
strong?
Alright.
If set to full power, yes.
Cleared those guys.
Seems
Cleared that
hazardous.
one.
Fortunately, 947, you'll come to learn that there are a lot of things here that qualify as hazardous. But I will always do my best to make sure you stay safe.
That is encouraging to hear, Father. Thank you.
1, 2, 3,
You're
4,
very
5,
welcome.
6, 7,
And what
8,
did I
9,
say about
10,
staying careful?
11, 12, 13,
Right.
14, 15,
My
16,
apologies.
17,
It's
18,
all right. We
19.
should focus on getting this thing in
That's
working
what,
order.
20 spots? Guess we can't unless I've just done bad math there, but always very possible. Okay. 6 and then 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, space 3. So we know that 3 has to be here, so that can't be 1. And I mean, it could go all the way out to there. So we can't sort of conclude on that one yet. We've got one of these. That can't be right. Why did I put that there? We know this has got to be the 3 then, because there's nothing else that fits it. So we can assume that... Is this the 3? Well, we know that one's a group of 3, so that can't be a thing. Which means that those two can't be things, and that's our 3 block in the middle here found. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Oh, but that's 20 there, so we can assume that all of those... I mean, some of these could be off one then, because that can be... So let me just remove all of that, because I think that there's a tiny variable in the layout of that. This is a set of 4, I guess. That can't be true either. No way that this 2 can have that middle one blacked out, so this can't be a set of 3. That has to be there, that has to be there. Because that goes a 3, then a 2. So I don't think that's right. Which would mean that has to be like that. Which it definitely does because of the layout of that guy. So we block him, and then that guy has to be like that. 1 plus 1 plus 1. So there could be one more sort of moved around in there. These guys here, the 3s, we know that those all have to be like that. That doesn't really give us any sort of extra clues. Same goes for this guy. Those two will both be there. So we can assume that... Again, I've got a problem here. Why is that blacked out? I think that one's wrong too. I think that has to be 1. I think we can conclude that. We can conclude that with all these 2s as well, actually. Anywhere there's a 2, we know the middle one has to be in place. So if we, say, block all of those... Yeah, we've got that line right. And I mean, with a lot of these, they're all 1s. So we would have to assume that they're going to alternate one side than the other. So this is a 6, so we know that's got this. That's going to be a 3, that's nothing. This guy's got a 2 in it, so that has to be 1, because it's got to be either one side or this or the other. So that can be blocked. Those are blocked. Sorry, that's blocked. So we've got that whole row done. This is a 2 and then a 5. So we know that can't be 1 because this has to be the 5. 2's got to be up that end somewhere. But we know that's got to be blocked because that's going to be a 1. So that's the 5. If we've got that guy there, we know that has to be black. Since this is 1s, we know that can't be the case, which assumably would mean there, right? That's not 1, that's 2. That would make that the other side of that 2. We block him. This guy needs a 2, which would be up there. We block that. Well, I've got something wrong here. So I assume that one's the other 2, because it definitely can't be that, because that's not a 6 at the end. It's a 4, so we can block there. Block there. And then I reckon we can run up these. Maybe. Oh no, because it would be that there's 1 in this row here. So, how many spaces have I got left? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And I need to fit in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so this has to... Sorry, ran the wrong way. This has to run like this. Which then means that this guy has to go.
There we go. Almost done.
Done. Alright, well that pretty much nails my normal amount of time that I would play one of these games for. So on that final puzzle complete, we will just relish in that victory.
Doing very well, 947.
On 947, they're doing a good job. Any questions or comments, feel free to chuck them below. And until next time, catch you later.